Hi, I want to talk to you for a minute about getting a partnership agreement. Now, as a business partnership mediator, obviously I get calls every day from all kinds of people having partnership issues, and the first question I always ask is, what does your partnership agreement say? Now, if you ever have a problem that's a very serious problem with a partner and you have to take it to an attorney, the first thing the attorney's going to ask you is, what does your partnership agreement say? That's always the first question when there's any kind of a problem. You can avoid a lot of problems by having a partnership agreement. So not only does it help when there is a problem, it can head off a lot of problems as well. Now, ideally, you would want to go to an attorney, sit down with your partner, the attorney would interview you, ask the questions, you would give the attorney some input. That's 2 or 3 hours of process. Then the attorney would draft the agreement, and it can be quite expensive. That's the ideal. However, that if you sit down with your partner and draft an agreement and say, this is how we do things, this is how the ownership is divided, you cover these things, you write them down, and put them in a memo of understanding or some similar document, write it up, you and your partner sign it. That is as good, almost as good, as a attorney drafted agreement. Now, there may be some fine points of law that an attorney might include. There are, and some legalese that might go in. However, if you say simply this, that Joe Blow and I are in a partnership, and it is a 50-50 partnership. I own half and he owns half. We both put $2,000 to start the business, and it is a equal partnership. And we both sign that. That right there is huge, because many disputes in a partnership have to do with the percentage of ownership. So just getting that documented and having both partners sign it eliminates a lot of problems. Probably about, maybe a third of the calls I get involve distribution of the ownership. So just getting that much documented is a great thing to do. But there's a lot of other stuff. You know, I put in money and my partner Joe's going to do work, and that's how we made this equal partnership. So if that's the case, do I get paid back? So this is something that comes up all the time. I get calls from people I've been in their business for 3 or 4 years, and they say, you know, I haven't been paid back yet. And I say, well, the money you put in, that's called startup capital. That's what starts the business. It's like putting a down payment on a house. You don't say, well, 2 years, I want to get that back. I'm still living in the house, but I want to get that back. I put it, it doesn't work that way. However, there are partnerships that can be structured like that. So one of the partners can put in some money, one can put in work, and we can say that the deal is this. I'm going to buy all the stuff that we need, and we're both going to work, and we're going to pay me back over the next 3 or 4 years, and we'll be equal partners. So if you have provisions like that, they need to be documented to save you a lot of problems. So here's what I want you to know. I have a process that I go through with business partners. We do video conferences, much like this, and we talk through the provisions that need to be in a good partnership agreement. I explain them to you, and then I give you options. These are the ways some people handle it. Some people like to do this. Some people prefer to go this way. Here's an idea that you might want to explore with your partner. And we just talk about the various options, and I give you some ideas, and you say, okay, that good idea. This is how we want to handle it. And then we draft a memo of understanding that you and your partner can sign, and that gets you covered for the big items that need to be in a partnership agreement. Probably 95% of the problems that come up from not having an agreement can be covered with a simple memo of understanding. So if you're interested in that process, contact me. There's plenty of contact information on the website. I'll put put a link below on this video if I can figure out how to do it when I edit the video. And set up a time. I do it for a very reasonable cost. It'll save you thousands of dollars over going through that process with an attorney. And we can get a memo of understanding that gives you a really good, solid foundation for a partnership agreement. And in the interim, you're covered for as long as you need to. So if money's a little tight and you don't want to spend the money on an attorney, at least do this. So many things can happen. Partners can get hurt. People can break into arguments. Somebody can move, divorce, and then the wife says half the business is now mine, and you get all kinds of stuff. So take it from somebody that deals with this every day. Get a partnership agreement in place. I can't emphasize that enough, and here's a great way to do it. So I'd love to work with you. Reach out to me. I'll give you all the costs and everything that's involved. Usually a couple of meetings and a little bit of time to draft an agreement is all it takes. And my rates are far lower than any attorney, and you'll have what you need to cover yourself. So why risk your interest? Reach out to me. Take care of it. Sleep better at night. Thanks.